class, we're going to be talking about how to be confident at public speaking, okay? But before we, we find out about this topic a little bit more, let's look at what we learned last week. Okay, so last week it was teacher Robin that did the class. I'm sure you joined us. And she was telling you about learning English with songs. Now that's a fantastic way to learn English or any other languages. And the tips that she gave you, something like improve your pronunciation, learn new expressions, and also she gave you some examples of songs and a lot more as well. If you want to watch the class again, or if let's say you've missed it, you know that you can watch it again. All you need to do is, if you look behind me, you will see, you go back onto our Facebook page, you click onto the video section, and then you'll have lots of different classes that will appear. So you just select the one that you want to watch again. And like I said, learning with songs is a really good idea, so definitely give it a go. Okay, so now, today's topic, how to be more confident at public speaking, right? I know a lot of you sometimes dread it, you get really, really scared or nervous when you know that you've got to speak in front of people. I'm going to tell you today how to beat your nerves, all right? So, first of all, the most important thing is the start, okay? Start with style, So that means, why do you need to start with style? Because you make a good impression then, okay? Because right at the beginning, your audience, they'll be focused, they'll be looking at you, so then you'll make a good impression. You grab their attention as well. I mean, you get their attention. It's really important. And it gives you self-confidence, because if you start really well, you're going to be happy with what you're doing. Okay, so the start is really important. Right, we've got some people watching. We've got Mohammed, Elencio, Lolly, and Team. Right, so thanks for watching. And tell me, are you nervous when you have to speak in front of people? When you are making presentations? Right, let me know through the comments. Let's have a look then. Then you need to grab your audience. You need to make sure, you need to grab their attention. You need to really get them. So, because did you know that you can only really concentrate for 8 seconds at a time? That's really short. So if you bear that in mind and you actually use these techniques that I'm going to tell you now, then your audience will be focused a lot longer. So sometimes you can start by telling them a quick story, all right? People always enjoy listening to a story. So tell them a quick story. Put some humor in there. Maybe start with like something that's funny, all right? But choose the right humor. Maybe I have behind you, maybe you have a PowerPoint behind you, maybe you have like a key message, a key phrase, something that's going to have an impact, or an interesting picture, and also some data. And I've put friendly data because you may just want to put one number, a big percentage or something like that. Don't go straight with your graphs or something that's a bit difficult to read. So friendly data, okay? So that's how you're going to grab your audience, their attention. That's what I mean. Okay, now I know that a lot of you get nervous, okay? I think the most important thing to remember is everybody gets nervous. And if you practice, that will, your nerves will ease, you'll get more comfortable. So the key here is plan, right? So let's say your boss says to you, right, next week you're going to be doing a presentation on this topic. Okay, when you know that, so you plan it, okay? You prepare it. And you rehearse or you practice. It's the same thing. Practice in front of a mirror. Maybe practice in front of other people if you can, friends or family. Lots of techniques. If you're really, really nervous, maybe try to record yourself and then have a look at what what you want to improve or what you want to stop. So really here, practice is key. And when you're actually on the day, you'll feel a lot more comfortable. Then I've just said to you, make a good start, because that will boost your confidence. Believe in yourself as well. And one of the things that I always say, don't apologize. You know these people who get in front of an audience and they say, I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm doing this, I'm a little bit nervous. No, don't try to get empathy from your audience, Don't apologize. If it's the first time, don't tell them. They don't need to know. So make sure that you do all this, because that, you'll be able to feel more comfortable. Okay, next, use appropriate eye contact. Right, so imagine you've got a group of people, whether you know them or you don't, okay? What I often say is find a friendly face, right? Look at them, okay? Look at that person, but don't just, focus on that person the whole time. Look at that person, and maybe that person will smile, so that will make you feel more comfortable. Then move to another person after that. Okay, look at another person, and then more and more people. And in the end, just look, basically widen that range and then look at lots of people together. Don't just focus on one or two, maybe right at the beginning, but really for a short amount of time. Be aware of your body language as well. If, let's say, you've got some people who are sitting in, the different side of the room, or a different area of the room, that's what I mean, don't forget to include them. So move yourself, walk a little bit, don't just stand there rigid like this, okay? So make sure you're using the space that you've got with the right eye contact. Find the right voice, the tone and the pace. If you get nervous, sometimes you've got a tendency to speak fast. Don't, because people won't understand you and then they'll switch off, and that's not what you want. So find your voice and your pace. The content is important. There's nothing worse than going to a presentation and there's lots of slides with lots of writing, lots of graphs, very small font, and you can't see a thing. And people basically are trying to read rather than listening to you, okay? So really my tip here is keep it very simple. Make it clear and attractive. Include visuals and limit your written content. Maybe just titles, keywords. You're the one who's telling them, not what's behind you. Use your PowerPoint presentation as a help, okay? And keep it short. Remember, people can only focus for a very short amount of time. So if, let's say, your boss says to you, right, you've got to speak for an hour. If you speak for an hour, everybody's going to fall asleep. So you need to plan short activities, maybe, okay? Like a little bit of a training session, some questions, and try to engage your audience. And that's what it means. It's just ask them questions. Easy questions, and then they will actually interact with you. One will start, and a second one, and then so on, okay? It's not a monologue. It's about, reacting with people, interacting with people. We've got somebody else watching us. We've got Arish. He says, I'm good at public speaking. Oh, brilliant. Okay, if you've got some tips, please tell us, because not so many people are good at public speaking. Often people fall asleep when we have to listen to a presentation rather than staying awake and focus. So it's quite a skill. So Arish, tell us, how do you do it then? And the ending. Remember, the best start and the perfect ending, right? Because I've heard in the past that people are awake at the beginning, they fall asleep in the middle, and then they wake up again at the end to make sure, they will remember something from your talk, okay? So remember, the ending has to be perfect. Deal with questions in a positive manner. So let's say if you've got somebody asking questions and there's one question you don't know the answer to, don't worry. Don't, just say, there you can apologize, actually. You can say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this, but I will find out. And always make sure that you do. So if you're actually giving a talk at a conference and you've got somebody that's asking you a question that you don't know, maybe at the end, find out, their details so you can get back in touch with them to give them the answer. I mean, another favorite of mine, if let's say I don't have the answer and I say, oh, I'm not too sure about this one, but maybe somebody else in the audience knows the answer, and I throw it back at them. And often you have someone that actually puts their hand up and they say, yeah, I know about this. It makes them feel a bit, a bit proud, good, and you don't feel silly, you don't look silly, somebody else has given the answer. So lots of different techniques. And thank them as well. Say, thank you, you've been great. All the attention on them rather than you, okay? So lots and lots of tips here. And basically, like we do, this was an introduction. I can't give you I don't want to do a monologue anyway on this, because the best thing is to practice. These are just important tips. But as we usually do, every time we do a live, let's practice together. I've got 3 questions for you. So do you get nervous when you have to talk in public? Yes, no, why not? Okay, this kind of answers. So you can actually write the answers now in the comments, and I will be checking them later on. Okay, and then number 2, what was the last presentation you have to give about? Okay, what did you have to talk about? Okay, just maybe tell me the name of the topic. And then lastly, do you have any tips you can share with us? Like I was asking Arish earlier. Okay, I've given you plenty of tips. Maybe you use the same one. Maybe you've got some that are just, the ones that you are using, and if they work, please tell us. Okay, so 3 questions here. while you do this, I'm going to tell you about the ABBA course. At ABBA, as you know, we've got a complete course right from beginner's level all the way to advanced and business level. So there will be a level for you, 144 units. They all start in the same way. They all include the same kind of features. We've got the ABBA film, activities around the ABBA film. We've got a video class that will explain the grammar to you. We've also got a test at the end of each unit to test that you've understood the activities and the films and so on. Okay, so we've got 144 units, as I've just said. It's a very flexible course because you can study anywhere, anytime you like. It's all online, and you can study on your smartphone, on computer, tablet. Let's say it's very flexible. You can start with one device and continue with another one. You can be a free student or you can be a premium student. Basically, the free student has access to all of the video classes, that's the grammar classes, as well as the first unit of every level. So that's okay, but if you're really serious about learning English, then you must become a premium student, and that's access to all 144 units. And on top of that, you can write to your own teacher. Here at ABBA, for example, like teacher Robin, okay? She has lots of students that write to her, and she replies very quickly. Within 24 hours, you tend to have a reply. So it's all through email, so you can practice your writing and your reading skills as well, okay? I'm sure we'll be posting some links, either we have now or in the future. You can click on the link and you can actually subscribe and become one of our students. So we do lots of additional resources. We have the ABBA journal where we write blogs and different blog posts. I'm sure there is one about public speaking or how to make good presentations. We are also on YouTube, as you know, and on Facebook and also on Twitter. So you can't miss us, really. Okay, so time to answer your questions. Well, a little bit quiet today. What's the matter? Maybe you need to think about the questions. I'm going to give you a little bit more time, and I'm going to tell you about next week. Next week, how to use a subjunctive. So a grammar class, very useful. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Okay, so turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our tips, you don't miss any of our classes. And now is the time for me to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you can write more comments and then I can reply to you later on, even though we are not live. I'm always checking your comments, so please write. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.